we go.
Hey, everybody out there, Happy Health Habits community friends. We are here today, whether you're here, we are all gathered to support and encourage each other on our Habits of Health journey. We're all on the bus today together, and if you're off the bus today, you're somewhere else, but thanks for letting me know if you're not coming, and you're always welcome. Michelle's new to the bus, so welcome. This is
Thank you.
Welcome.
And Michelle, we are on the Happy Health Habits bus on to destination Live It Land, and no more diets and no more crazy diet insanity in our heads. How's that sound, Michelle?
Sounds fabulous.
So she's been with another coach, Coach Terry Matson, for I don't know, a few years, right? And you and I have talked off and on about all of our emotional eating, woes, right? Sugar addictions.
Sure.
I hope you're okay with me just saying that.
No problem.
We're all coming out and saying it. It's real.
It's all it's all real. We're all in the same boat here. We're all in the same bus with that. So
just so you know, you're in good company.
You're in great company.
Thank you. I trust that.
You are in great company. So anyway, we're glad to have you on our bus. This reading today from the Energy Bus, if you haven't gotten it yet, or the rules to live by, 10 rules for the ride of your life. This is from rule number 1, you're the driver of your bus. And number 2, desire, vision, and focus. Move your bus in the right direction. And that has everything to do with what they talked about on Monday, right? About your why, which I thought was brilliantly done, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what is your vision? What is your vision for your life, for your work, your job, career, your relationship? This is your energy bus. You're the driver. Did you know you can take your bus anywhere you want to go? And yes, 3 times say yes, 3 times with me. Yes, yes, yes. This is a little poem. You can take it to the movies, to the beach, or to the North Pole. Just say where you want it to go and believe it will be so. Because every journey and ride begins with a desire to go somewhere and do something. You have a desire that if you have a desire, then you also have the power to make it happen. So again, just creating what it is that is your vision. And if you have, it says, first decide what you want, then start creating it. Don't let the world create you. You create your world. Complete the questions and we'll talk about them later. So what is your vision? You create your world. I just posted today a friend of mine, her name's Carissa, and she's a friend's client. She is going to Australia. And the amazing thing about that, you guys, is she created that. She created it. She's not at her goal weight, but she created being not diabetic anymore. And now she's pre-diabetic. She's not perfect on her plan, but she is heading toward her healthy weight and is learning how to live a healthy mindset around and healthy thinking around eating, right? So she's creating it. So go check my post in Optimal Life today, because I put that in there because this whole trip to Australia is kind of the cherry on top of what we can create. So that's kind of,
go Carissa.
I know if you have a dream, you know what? Build it and they will come, right? You know, that movie.
Yeah.
So create your focus. When your focus gets scattered, you've got to bring it back in, right? And so when we lose our focus on our why, we got to bring it back in. So that's where we do the 90-second rule, right? So should we start with 90 seconds? Who wants to count to 90 for us?
Oh, I got a stopwatch thingy here.
You have something? Let's stop for 90 seconds and breathe so we can focus our thoughts and bring our emotions down into a safe space. You got a counter?
Yeah, it's going.
All right.
Everybody's breathing.
Breathe in.
Little hug hack.
Little hug hack. Yep. Let's see how long we can go.
If you need, you can look at my beautiful tropical background. I'm not actually there, but we can feel the breeze and pretend. I'm close to it.
Try this when your emotions are high, when you're thinking you're going to make the wrong decision.
30 seconds. Keep going. Everybody take another deep breath. Lots of good breathing techniques. You want to do the box breathing. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Another deep breath. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4. Another deep breath in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. All right, just shake it off a little. Shake your hands, wiggle your head and neck. That was 90 seconds. That was it.
Michelle, Sharon, what's your experience with 90 seconds? And you've been doing this, right? Do you find yourself going off into la la land to try to focus? Is it hard? Just try to take herself off mute. You're on mute, girl. Anybody else?
Who are you talking to?
It's
I was
getting,
talking to Sharon. Anyone
it's
else?
get,
Oh.
it's getting easier.
Getting easier as you practice?
Yeah.
But it's really hard at the beginning, right? So
Mhm.
Michelle, in the life book, it talks about waiting 90 seconds to ride out an emotional wave. And if you can just stop for 90 seconds, that's what we're doing. Okay. And I'll send you a couple links about how to, some guided little meditation, guided little things, but that's where we're getting. Anyone else trying the 90-second thing? Yeah, Candace?
Yeah, I
Okay.
like it because a lot of times I've got an emotion going when I eat or when I make the wrong choices for whatever it is.
Yep.
And so if I just take a few, if I just take a minute and a half and breathe and think, is this what I want to do? And sometimes it's just plain out boredom, but it gives me time to pause and think and say what, stop, challenge, choose. Yeah.
So it does make a difference if you stop long enough, right? So it does. I do find it makes a difference. The key is stop challenge, choose. The key is stop, and that's not long enough. So this is how we practice, Michelle, stopping ourselves. And then remember what we say during that time. What is the thought anyway? What am I having? What's normally your thought, Candace or Wendy or anybody want to share what the thought is?
The initial thought or what makes me turn around?
Yeah, well, the initial thought. What is it that you're actually thinking when you're stressed and you got to stop?
I'm trying to solve other people's problems, and I'm just mindlessly eating or trying to stress over my own problems. Like usually, it's money for me that really stresses me out. I feel a lot of bad emotions about it. I feel like I should be in control of my finances. I feel like I should be able to have more money in my life, whatever. And then that kind of spirals me a little bit. But I'm like, well, do I really want to sabotage my health? That's going to create more expenses.
You're getting guilt messages and shame messages in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I identify with that. Raise your hand if you get that guilt shame thing going on. Yeah. We definitely do that. So yeah, that's that. And then we just say, you know what? I am not my thoughts. I am not guilt. I don't need to feel guilty. I don't need to feel shame. I am not my thoughts. I will command myself to make the best decision and sit here and breathe and make the decision that's going to serve me. What's at stake? Here's a question I love in element 23. If you haven't visited element 23 in a while, I love this question. What's at stake? What am I feeling? What's going on? What do I need help with? This is page 476. What will align with my values? What choices align with my values? What's the emotion telling me? And what's at stake? And you know what's at stake for me? It's always dignity, self-respect, and integrity. And I've really come down to the fact that it's dignity, dignity is a big word. Dignity, self-respect, integrity. Those are it for me. That's what's at stake. And does that make sense?
Yeah,
And
those
I,
are good ones
those
because
are,
that's me too. It's like when I start thinking, why bother? It's
mhm,
not worth the hassle.
mhm,
Everything's a struggle. It's like pause,
mhm, yeah,
breathe. Go ahead, Candace.
Candace.
Yeah, I was going to say the integrity part too, because we can hide things from other people. We can, I can eat when my mom's not over here, and
Right,
she doesn't have to
right.
know. But I know I'm lying to myself. I know I'm cheating with myself. So
Integrity.
that's where the integrity comes in, and I wouldn't do that to anybody else. So why am I doing it to me?
Right.
That is so good. And that was like my epiphany, Candace, earlier this month, the first Tuesday with Dr. A. He talked about that. And it's like you'll feel more, you'll resonate better with yourself. And I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, I have a clean conscience with
A clean-
myself when I'm doing what I know what is right. And here we're talking about the food angle of things. So it's like I have to do the pause when the negative thoughts start, pause, breathe, and it's like, yeah, I am worth it and I will feel better. Not
mhm.
just physically in my body, but just harmonizing mind and body together.
Harmony with your energy and your integrity and your self-respect.
So
There's nothing,
profound.
hey, there's nothing worse than not feeling good about yourself because you made yourself feel bad. It's like yuck, right?
Yeah. And then you're stuck in the yuck with the muck.
And it's nobody else's fault but your own.
Right.
What?
Yeah. And it's always, and it seems silly. I hated the phrase, oh, you always have a choice. And it's like, well, it was a choice to either eat that or not eat that. And it's even a choice to think that or not think that,
Mhm.
we do have some control of our thoughts. It's hard, but the 90 seconds, the breathing, that's what makes the difference right there.
Yeah, and the good, healthy, happy feeling that we get is, remember from when we worked on those 3 words, stop challenge, is equanimity. That feeling that you're talking about, equanimity.
Got my sticky note right here on the computer.
That's that
Equanimity.
feeling. That's that feeling of, and Michelle, I can send you that video that we did. We just kind of, it was a few weeks ago, that peace of mind that you get from making and keeping your own commitments and being true to your own self and your honor and your word, your honor to you, your respect, your self-respect. Being true to yourself gives you equanimity in all ways, energetically, spiritually, everything, and yeah, so it's just a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. So I didn't start off today by saying this, but congratulations for loving yourself enough to be here. I didn't put my PowerPoint up, but you know what? Love on you for loving yourself enough to show up. You can have equanimity being here. You can even take it a step further, if you really want to think about it, if you take it from a biblical or spiritual point of view, to your point, Candace, no one's going to know if I sit here and eat myself silly in the refrigerator, but guess who's looking, right? Somebody is seeing that. Right? So maybe you want to have integrity with God too, right? Maybe you promised him that you were going to not do the thing, whatever the thing is.
And just appreciating the gift of life and how
Right,
amazing and marvelous our body is. That
absolutely.
actually helps me sometimes when I do research on how the body works. It's like, wow, okay, I need to take a little better care.
Absolutely.
Take it in and get the oil change, get lube,
A little
get the
respect.
tires changed.
Yep, a little respect for the gift that we've been given, and right.
For an upgrade.
Yep, and our food and our choices and our behavior are a reflection of what our gratefulness for that. So you could take it all biblical and stuff too, but nonetheless, it's a good thing to remember every day. So good job for practicing and practicing what we preach. It's all a matter of practice, right?
And that's why we're here in the group. We're all working on it together. Nobody's
no
perfect, but we can
perfection.
help each other.
Just practice.
And if you want to make me co-host, Amy, I can put up that video you wanted.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes, thank you very much. I will do that. Oh yeah, that would be great. So let's talk about Monday night. Anybody have a feedback about Monday night and or want to share about their week wins or teachable moments? Kathy watched it, I know, today. Yes,
Mhm.
Candace.
So yeah, I watched it. I just watched it before I met here because I thought I've just got to start watching these, and you made it sound very interesting about mountain climbing, and that's really popular around here. Just hiking in the mountains, and I liked the illustration about sometimes when you start out, your goal you can see where you're trying to get, but then there'll be switchbacks where they don't take you directly up a mountain, and that would be really intensely too steep to do. So they switched. There's all these switchbacks, and that the his one son had done the trail with him before, but the other son had not. And he said the other one was dragging his feet and just moping. And Dad, I think you're going the wrong way because I can't see. There was a letter on the mountain, which they do a lot around mountains. Is put, yeah, it was a Y. So he was using it. What's your why? And so he couldn't see the why. And he's like, Dad, we're going the wrong way. And he was really discouraged, but his brother kept encouraging him and saying, no, I've done this before. We're going to get there. When he finally saw the why, when they came around a corner and they were at the right, like the 13th switchback, he finally saw it. And then he said he just became like Usain Bolt. He just started running and jumping and cheering, and he was all excited. And so it just is a good illustration to make sure that we know that we have to sometimes imagine our goal and keep reminding ourselves what it is when we can't see the results yet. And then he talked about leaning into 3 things, because when you're hiking, you've got to lean into the mountain. You can't walk like you normally do. That would kill your back.
Right.
And you'd get nowhere. But said lean into your vision, your path, and your partners. Who are your partners?
Right. Oh, that's great. I missed that. Lean in, because you can't, the path is, you can't stand up straight. You have to lean into the mountain.
Yeah.
And rely on your partners. That I missed that lean in point. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, and just like his map of all the switchbacks, or your health journey or whatever, it's not linear. It looks just like that. You're zigging and you're zagging and you're up and you're down.
Yeah.
Maybe several times even in the same day, but you're still heading up the mountain, or whatever your goal is. So I always look at traffic too.
Yeah. And there's always, and I love the point where there's always some resistance because it's going up the mountain. So you have to lean in. So there's always a certain level of resistance, or, a certain level of exertion.
Yeah.
You have to push yourself, exert yourself, but yet you can't exhaust yourself and quit. But, you don't want to exhaust yourself, but you have to exert yourself to get up the next elevation. I really liked that.
And I appreciated one of the ladies, I don't remember which one, but sometimes we think the mountain is bigger than it is, or it's farther than it is. Like, oh, I'm never going to make it, or eating healthy is so difficult and I have to spend hours of preparing. And just like the hike, it's like, if you talk like that on the hike, you're not going to get up there.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be like, I'm going back to McDonald's,
She made the mountain way too big.
And I do that all the time. And it's like, and we've just expended how much energy?
That's right.
And discouraged ourselves from producing the good, healthy energy just to keep going. And, looking at all the twists and turns, when you get to the top, the view is all worth it. It's so amazing. It's so worth it. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was very inspiring to me.
Yeah.
That was very inspiring. She made it way too big. That's quite right. What about you, Kathy or Sharon, Wendy?
Well, I just got out of it, stay on the trail. There's no shortcuts. And I do hike, so that hit me. There are no shortcuts to this.
Yeah. My brother was always trying to take a shortcut, and I'm like, this is a lot steeper than the trail.
Shortcuts are not easy.
Didn't really get there faster either.
No. And you know what? Kathy got me going this morning on the Ozempic. Okay. Yeah. Don't even get me. I mean, I shouldn't even bring it up.
Don't start her on that.
Tell us, Kathy, quick.
That is a shortcut. You do not want to go down that shortcut. That is.
I have a friend who I'm trying to, get involved with our program, and she's like, "Oh, I'm taking Ozempic now," and I'm like, "What?" So, and she's
shortcut.
been on many diets and loses and gains it all back. And it's like, oh no, this isn't a good thing.
Amy.
So I was
Yeah.
telling that to Dr. Amy and she went crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a really interesting email from Dr. A on that
Oh,
last month. I'll have to dig it up.
Yeah, dig it
There's
up because
also-
I like to share that with my friend.
Yeah,
Kathy-
there also was an interview of Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy Osbourne's wife, recently, and I didn't see the whole thing, so I would watch it first before you share it. But she's having serious bowel issues because it locks down things, and she couldn't control the amount of weight she was losing, and it was doing really serious things to her body. And after she said that, I noticed it in the news talking about what it was doing, locking down something in the system. I can't remember what it is, but it's really scary to think how many people might be experiencing serious issues with it.
Does
Well, the
nobody
sad
remember?
thing, I'm sorry, the sad thing is that these doctors are openly giving it to them. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what's so bad.
Because they don't have the habits of health. They don't know what to tell people.
Oh.
Which is why you need to tell your doctor, read this here, read these books and have these books and give them to a coach who can help them, because you obviously can't. And you know what? It's not their fault. It's not their scope of practice. It really isn't. Their scope of practice is to do medications and surgeries. It's not to teach you how to be healthy. That's our job. Right. Anyway, see, we can't go off on this. I'm telling you.
check your inbox, Kathy. I
It's
just
a
did it.
trail with a dead end. That's all I'm gonna say.
Kathy, I got her excited this morning too about it, so.
Oh, you were on the same topic, Sharon?
Sharon's
I
got,
want to hear your side of it, Sharon.
Sharon's got a friend on it too. $900 a month.
Yeah, it's not cheap. No.
And it's a dead end. Does no one remember Fen? Don't even get me started, right?
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, there's a lot to be said about being a guinea pig in a scientific study and a lab rat. But I tell you what, tell your friends, do not sign up. Do not sign up for another 20 years because they don't know the side effects of this drug for a long time. So,
Yeah.
And then it'll have to cause major damage for them to pull it off the market. But anyway, so stay on the trail, and the easiest, the path of least resistance is the one that's already marked. Go this way, walk this way. I love it. That was great. Stay on the trail. Like Sharon, you've been telling your brother, she inspired her brother to get started, 74 years old. And she just keeps telling him, Alan, just stay on the trail, stay on the trail, just stay on the trail. Right? So what's your takeaway from Monday?
Oh, I just wrote down you don't want a problem-based why.
Yes. What's wrong with that?
I mean, can be short-term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not, you're probably not changing any habits.
No.
Yeah, and along with that, Sharon, I remember he said, you could go up the mountain because I said you have to,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody's pushing you to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and you might do it, but that was your point right there. It was short term, and you're not going to actually get as much benefit out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And fixing problems are only once, like once the problem is fixed, then you think you're done. So it's really, it's not.
Yeah, and even with the activity challenge, the steps, it's really not just about the numbers. Those are a gauge that we can use to see, but the weight, the measurements aren't the true why, I think is what you're saying there, Sharon. Those are the short term. But if you really do it for, the long term benefit, if your why is deep rooted.
For the right reason.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not to fix a short-term problem, or else you're going to be, you'll be sunk for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody, who was your favorite speaker? Do you guys remember the one with that had cancer? Did you see it, Michelle or Wendy? Hi, Roxy. Hi, Pam.
Yeah, they're
What is
working
the
their
one
car.
with the, what are the one with the cancer?
It was her dad that had cancer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, her
And
dad had cancer.
for her or somebody else to maybe be a donor, they haven't
Yeah.
even got to that part yet. They all had to lose weight.
Yeah.
The
And get help.
doctor said, if you guys want to be donors or find out if you're even, you got to lose weight first.
And
That
you
was
gotta
like,
be healthy.
that was the lead in. Yeah. And the point was to be healthy. So she's like, even then it was hard. She's like, why couldn't I get motivated? I mean, that's like the best reason in the world. I want to help save my dad's life. And still then she had to dig deeper into herself to get the motivation to stick with it and for the right reasons.
What I thought was interesting was that it was a positive reason that she
Yeah.
could finally get motivated, knowing her dad was dying and that she could donate an organ possibly and all that. She just was paralyzed for a couple months, just in a fog.
Yeah.
But she said when her father said, tell your clients that life is a gift and that we should live it and every day is a miracle and all of that. Then when she started viewing life that way, she said, I just started moving and I started, she started doing all the right things naturally and because she felt, she saw that gift of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
The gratitude is so powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we can all think about it that way. And he said, be grateful for your body. He said he was grateful for his body because it was showing up to the fight every day.
Yeah.
I loved that and
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I love that. I thought that was great. And I think it was her or maybe someone early on that's, and if have you guys had cancer or known someone who's had cancer?
Knowing someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, it's always the worst time of your life, but it's the best thing that ever happened to you. Because even if you don't survive it, it changes your thinking and it changes your behavior, right? And it changes your perception of life.
Yeah.
If you don't,
you finally learn those important lessons in life.
you learn those important lessons, and it's the best gift you can ever have. Had cancer and I've had thyroid cancer, and it was the defining moment, right, that got me out of my practice and back to Iowa. And in this book, The Energy Bus, it says, look at your every day I want you to focus on your vision for 10 minutes and see yourself creating the thing you wrote down. It's called the law of attraction. 10 minutes. Give me 90 seconds. Sit for 10,
if you can't do 90 seconds.
Sit for 10 minutes and visualize your thing that that you wrote down. There is an energy to thought. Spend your time thinking about what you want to do rather than not on what you don't want to do. How many times have we heard that, right? Focus on what you do want. And for 10 minutes a day, it seems like a no-brainer, but I don't know. I think it would be kind of hard.
Do it.
You know?
Actually, this is a great spot. Can I throw in that video? It's a young person who had her life changed before her.
That'd be a great spot for it. Yes.
Okay, I hope it's clear. If everybody can hear it, stop me if you can't.
This is one of the best things I've ever heard.
My twin brother was asked to sing at his graduation last year, so I decided to one-up him and give a speech. He's actually graduating from his master's program next week, and both of us are continuing to grapple with the same question that everyone has been asking us. As I'm sure all of you have been asked the same exact question, what are you going to do? That's a very different question from who are you going to be? What I want us to consider is what does it mean to be a human being, not a human doing? When I first came to NC State, I had a lot of labels that I was proud of. D1 athlete, softball player, researcher, social work student. If you were to ask me about my identity, I would have listed all of those tangible things. But during my junior year, I suffered a traumatic brain injury from softball. My career-ending concussion meant that softball was now forever over, and I was on the brink of even continuing as a student. I struggled to speak without frequent stuttering, pausing, confusion, and couldn't prove myself through performance of any kind. And I was left with all of the pieces of who I used to be and unsure how to rebuild. So as I recovered for several months, I made a resolution to help rebuild my identity. I decided that in order to heal the way I saw myself, I had to start by the way that I saw and spoke about others. I would start describing people not by their labels, but by 3 things: their attitude, the way that they treat others, and what makes them uniquely beautiful. Instead of describing my roommate as an engineer, I would first tell you that she is a kind, intelligent, adventurous girl who loves her family deeply. The more I started equating other people's identities towards their internal characteristics, the more I began to build a healthier foundation for myself. Some of us have next steps planned out, and that's amazing, and some of us don't, and that's okay too. Yet we all have the opportunity to decide who we are going to be when we leave this place today. Your roles in life are going to change, whether it's a relationship role, a role in a job, but you are so much more than your role. So you might be going to do work in engineering, but that means you're going to be an intelligent problem solver. You might be going to do social work, but that means you're going to be a compassionate community member. Regardless of what you do, you always have the opportunity to be the person that you've dreamed. When you choose a positive attitude, treat others with genuine kindness, and appreciate your own unique inner beauty. If you embrace those 3 things, your life will become more rich with seeing the world through a lens beyond the labels that confine us. Graduation isn't just a celebration of passing classes and balancing work. It's about doing all of those things despite the challenges in between. You are resilient, and the things that you do will go beyond your occupation because they start with an internal spark based on who you are. All of you came in wearing several external labels: a graduate, a student, an almost alumni, but we have to look beyond our labels to appreciate who we really are and appreciate others for who they really are. I encourage all of us to think and do and become something uniquely amazing. Thank you.
Wow.
I tell you what, Brown, I don't know. I mean, just phenomenal. And phenomenal. And I think that all boils down to she had to learn to, right? Self-love. She had to learn to love herself outside of her own labels. And when we struggle and suffer with our behaviors, we got to love ourselves more, get to know ourselves more. Who are we? What are our best attributes? How do we treat others? How are we uniquely beautiful? And that will help us with our why and what difference we want to make for people in the world and how we want to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? No one
Yeah.
can give that to you until you're in that moment there where she was, just incapacitated. I mean, you have to, you only have you. That's all. That's it. You got nothing else. You can't do anything. Have you guys ever been in that situation or known someone who has, that you really start? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and for someone so young to learn those life lessons early, it's like that was a lot of wisdom in what she had to say. And
Yeah.
it's sad when you see people that have lived a long life but never delve deep
Yeah.
into being
Being
and
what
the
really
really important stuff.
what really
So
matters. What do you want to be? Not who do you want to do? What do you want to have? What do you want to do? It's who do you want to be in the world? That's what it comes down to, guys, ladies.
yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible when you think about it. And that will give you your why. If you know who you want to be, then you're going to find that why, that deeper why, than your pant size and the scale and the numbers, and you want to get off the pills and all that jazz, right?
Yeah, and all the other stuff will fall into place
Mm-hmm.
if you are being who you ought to be.
Mm-hmm. And I encourage you to write those words, write this down. What is your identity? What's your attitude? Number 1, to find your own identity, your attitude, and I'm writing this down. How do you want to treat others, or how do you treat others, and how are you uniquely beautiful?
All
And
right, can you do that again?
what is your identity? Okay. What is your attitude about life? How do you treat others? And how are you uniquely beautiful? I challenge you to do that for yourself. And you know what? I was I'm a human doer like nobody's business. That is my MO. And I'll tell you, every day I try to human be in the morning. My power hour, my movement and meditation and morning time is where I try to really be a human being for 1 hour. and it does cascade throughout the day. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. I keep practicing. I'm getting better. But you know what? Margot is not here, and I'm really sad because she gave me this little book called You're a Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, You're Amazing. And she filled in the blanks about what she thought of me. I admire the way you always fight for what's right. Your superpower is teaching. You taught me that sisterhood is a true gift. I can't help but tell you the truth when you're taking on too much. You're a princess when you are in front of a crowd of 2 or more people. She actually wrote down who I am being in her mind in this book. Isn't that incredible?
Incredible.
And I read this and I cried because I hadn't seen it for years. I put it away. I cried because it was like someone put a mirror right in front of me to show me myself. Does that make sense? I was bawling. I won't read the whole book to you. I was bawling. I just couldn't believe it was such a confronting moment. And I thought, I don't think about myself like this, right? Why don't I think about myself like this? And this is the thing, you guys. We got to do this for ourselves, and then you can do it for other people. Do you know what I mean? It's so incredible. It is so, it's just an incredible thing. And I started practicing it this morning, and I had a few clients this morning that I thought, I really need to tell them what I think of them. And it was so much fun, and it was so fulfilling, and it was so amazing to tell people what I thought their attitude was, how they treated others, and how uniquely beautiful they were. Oh, so awesome. So I challenge you guys to try that, to try it today for yourself first, but then try it, give the gift away to someone else. What do you guys get out of that? What do you guys like out of the little video? What'd you like, Michelle? Wendy? Pam, I'm glad you're here. She's in a tractor in the fields harvesting for our food.
Oh, I just
I
said
was really,
it kind of brings me to tears because it's just
Yeah.
so
Very
touching,
good.
I don't, with my mom getting older and my dad being gone, I don't feel like I have, you're used to your parental support. And then as they get older and go away, you don't have that anymore. And our friends don't do it to us, and our kids usually don't too often appreciate us. So it's kind of cool. You got to learn to do it for yourself, I guess.
And Michelle, you were about to say?
I was just going to say it was very moving for me. I once heard that in the United States, we always say, what do you do? And in Japan, they say, who are you? When they
Amen. That's
meet
perfect.
somebody, it's like,
Yeah.
what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And in Japan, they say, who are you?
Love it. Look how culturally deeply ingrained that is.
And did you
Interesting.
love the architect example, Michelle, where she said, you're not an architect, you are a brilliant, creative problem solver?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really was moved and touched by it. It was excellent. Thank you.
I think we all need to go to work and think, okay, what is it that I'm doing how would I even describe this in terms of, right?
And I like how she started by doing that for other people, how she viewed other people. Then she started building her identity because she was rebuilding her life after a traumatic situation.
Oh.
So it's, she reverse engineered it.
Good news is we don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till you're totally broken to do it.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, as long as we use that as a wake-up call, then it works.
Yeah.
A growth moment.
On the Monday night, I loved how he talked about don't get stuck in your switchback, or maybe it was the second
Yeah.
one. Don't get stuck in your switchbacks.
Yeah.
And use them as setbacks.
As setbacks. Yeah. I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Don't your switchbacks become your setbacks.
Yes. Don't let them, it's okay to have a switchback, but don't let it become your setback. I
Yeah.
love,
Good
Can you
notes,
share that
Kathy.
video with us again? I'd like to watch it again. Can you
yes,
send us the link?
I will. Yes, I will.
Do you want me to just put it in the Happy Health Habits
Yeah,
Facebook group chat?
yeah, that'd be fine. And on this, yeah, too, yes. And then, you know what, we get caught in setbacks. And you know what, the other thing he said was, you avoid your dreams in your setbacks. If you stay stuck
Whoa.
in switchbacks all the time and you don't keep elevating, you're avoiding your dreams, which means we're avoiding being a human being.
Hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? We're avoiding ourselves. We're avoiding loving ourselves, knowing what we want. Not knowing what we want is avoiding ourselves as a human being. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna have to sit on that one a minute.
We don't, like, my husband drives me absolutely batty. He has so many emotional baggage things to take care of. He does not know who he is and what he wants to do with his life. I am very clear, right? I have a passion. I have a purpose. I know what that is. You know?
Doesn't that drive you bonkers when someone else doesn't have a purpose?
Yeah.
And he's like, he goes to his job, he does his thing, he's very responsible, right? And that's what he's supposed to do. Right? Support his wife. Support, you know what I'm saying? Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Do what you're supposed to do. It's an identity put upon him by family and society, but he has no idea who's under there. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, but it's crazy because he has so many gifts.
Exactly. We can see those gifts, right? And that's why I read this from Margot. She can see my gifts all day long. She wrote them all in this little book. I was bawling. What? How can someone see that about me? I can't even see it about myself. You know, we have these blinders on, right? My husband, case in point, she knows him well. Blinders on all of his, you know what I mean? He's just so lovely. Wendy, you know my husband too, but not intimately, but you know, anyways. So spend some time, really dig deep. I know, and I know Vicky was on here the other day, Sharon, Vicky, your friend Vicky was on saying, I don't go that deep. I don't go that deep, right? Guess what? I know it's scary there. It's really scary in here. But Roxy knows if we don't go there, the past just keeps following us around and stays right in our present. And then we stay stuck in those switchbacks, don't we?
Well, if you don't go there, you don't grow there. So let it go and let it flow.
Nah.
Like Muhammad Ali. You are stinging like a bee there.
That was fantastic. Someone record that. We got to go back.
I think you got it recorded. Yay.
What was that? That was fantastic. I love it. We inspire ourselves.
At about 50 minutes in.
I
Recorded.
love the fact that we have a vision and we have a path and we have plan and partners. I love that about the mountain climbing. Are you a hiker, Wendy? I don't know if you are. Anybody? Are you a hiker, Sharon?
I do, but I don't have any mountains to climb. Hike.
When Matt and I went
Trail walker, we're calling it that.
when Matt and I went to
Oh,
Park
wow.
City, you know, we were in the mountains and I kept saying, you know, this trail hiking thing is such a good metaphor for life. We got off on the wrong path. We went literally 15 miles out of our way. We had no idea where we were going. And we were exhausted but we did it. Luckily, we're in health enough to do it. And we got finally to a road and hitchhiked for the first time in my life. Rode with some strangers back to the place.
Where was this? When you were in Utah?
In Park City, yeah. And what was my point? But luckily we have because we got off the path, right, Kathy? We got off the path. So we got on the wrong path, but we got back. We have a path, we have a plan, we have partners, we have each other, we have a vision, we just need to stay together and stay on the path and stay together, hold hands and go across the street, stay together. That's all I can say, because it's just, if it hadn't just been with he and I, and we'd been with some people who knew where they were going or what they were doing, we wouldn't have got off on the wrong path. Right.
Right.
But we didn't. We were out there thinking we got this. No, we don't. So
So what you're saying is buy the map,
yeah,
pay a guide, get a coach.
yeah. Keep bringing people to these groups. Keep coming, Michelle, back to these, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because we're all here. We're all
We
here.
all need it.
We all
You
here.
got your
doing-
hand up, Candace, or were you just agreeing?
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing because they talked about lean into having partners in the journey, and they brought out how, like with Dr. A, he has anticipated the obstacles that are common to all of us and that we're going to come across on that path, and he's warning us and telling us how to avoid them. You know, like around here there's rattlesnakes. I've not seen one yet, but you know, you need to know what to do, what to not do, so that
Yeah.
you don't get bit by a rattlesnake. And so it's the same with what Dr. A is trying to do for us. We all have our things that are probably as bad as rattlesnakes in our life that are going to trip us up.
Yeah.
And he's providing guidance for how to get around those on our pathways.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And bravo, Michelle, because you're back on the path, right? So tell me what your takeaway is from today, being here today, and you know what your new commitments are, or you know, challenges, anything you want to share.
Oh, well, I've been in a stuck place for a long time, and I just really feel like this was a good jump start for me.
Mhm.
It was just
Well,
really
we
to
are
put me
so
in
glad you
place.
came.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been wonderful.
Well,
And
you
you
just
know most of the crew every Wednesday, Well-being Wednesday.
yeah, there's many other people missing, but you'll get to meet everyone, and it's okay to just stop and fill your backpack up and rest and fill your water bottles up and then take the climb again. So here you go, right?
Yep.
And we'll talk tomorrow. What about you, Roxy?
Yep.
Tips of the week, or I know you're just doing your own challenge in Spanish. How's that going? You're always out there with your movement pictures. She smokes me all the time with her movement. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I just came back with my daughter. We went to walk a dog, and I was just having fun with the fall colors. I love them, and it's sunny, and I'm just choosing to be happy today. Yeah.
Yay, you look beautiful in your happy smile and your happy colors.
Look at
I look at that. You're in the fall colors, literally. You are wearing it like a crown.
yeah,
That's great.
I appreciate
I just
to be alive and feel everything, all the blessings.
Oh, the joy of being, the joy. Fall, Roxy and I, and even Candace, October is our color.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yes, it is. Yes,
yeah.
it is.
We're all type 3, so October is our color. We love it.
And I just sent Roxy a funny joke on WhatsApp to show her how I'm supporting her activities in Spanish. I said it says en vez de 30 sentadillas, yo pensé que era quesadillas. So basically, oh, I thought you said 30 quesadillas instead of 30 squats. So, but I was doing what I could to help.
Oh yeah.
Support the Spanish team.
So Wendy, tell us how you're smoking us with movement. You were about to tell us at the beginning what your movement successes were. You had your Get Active. Are you smoking your Get Active challenge?
I'm doing better than I was because I downloaded my pedometer app finally on my phone. And I can see on the days I'm at home, and most of the time I don't carry my phone, but I'm getting like nothing because I'm just wandering around the house. But I started.
That was a free app you downloaded, right?
Yeah. And I turned on the health tracker on my iPhone too, because they kind of feed into each other. But at least now I can see when I work my days at the stadium, how many steps I'm actually getting in. And you know, I can even see because we park a couple blocks away most of the time, or at least across a long parking lot. And even just walking into the building where I have to work and walking back is adding up. I mean, it's a couple miles.
That's
I
awesome.
haven't reached, I don't usually even reach 10,000, but it's, you know, it's at least 7,000 on a day when I'm
awesome.
when I'd be sitting home, doing nothing. So
Good for you. Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's a great awareness tool. I've never been a step counter. My husband cannot go to sleep at night. He's so OCD without his steps counted.
I'm the same way.
Are you that way, Kathy?
I've got my Apple Watch and before I go to bed, I got to make sure. Sometimes if I didn't hit my 10,000 steps, I'm walking around the house till I get there. That's my goal every day. So I don't know. I hit it last week. I think I had over 80,000 steps.
Wow.
Trust me, I am not making you wrong, girl. I think that is fantastic. I am just so not that way. It's hilarious.
I don't know. It just motivates me. I don't know. Or to see how many flights of steps I climbed in a day. I don't know. I just like looking at it. But I check it before I go to bed to make sure I hit my 10,000.
It keeps you going. It keeps you going. And Wendy, it's motivating her. And I got to tell you, I'm actually learning a lot about myself, keeping track of some, even though I'm not doing it with a device. I'm actually, it's very eye-opening how much.
Yeah, it is.
And Sharon, I know you're smoking it. Well, you're doing your own little. What do you got? Are you winning your goal?
Most days, yes.
Good.
Except for when the weather's not very good.
Yeah, it
and I
needs to
can't be
cooperate.
outside.
You know what? Walking up and down your stairs.
I know.
At home, yeah.
It's just not as fun.
I know.
But
I know.
Yep, I know it's an option. So.
And bravo to Carrie there in that movement video, that exercise that you put in up there. That is awesome.
These are my best steps this week.
Oh my gosh, that's
swimming
beautiful.
again. Me, I'm steps. I'm in the water.
Oh, so
Does that count?
cool. That is so cool. I would step with you.
Envious.
Yes.
Some of the benefits of living in the Amazon. It's clean rivers to swim in.
But I was proud of you for stepping up and saying, hey, don't compare yourself, because some of us are sedentary. And Carrie's like the first person to say, I'm literally sedentary. Anything is good for me. So
yeah, I'm actually sitting in that picture, but then I did swim. And my favorite thing is on this activities conversion.
Yeah.
It's like for cleaning the house was like 113 steps per minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, it takes me a couple hours to clean my house.
There you
So
go.
that's a lot.
It's very eye-opening.
And I got to do some stair steps just to get in my house. So that counts. And I walked 3 blocks to go buy groceries yesterday.
That's very eye-opening.
I didn't take the car. I walked to town 3 blocks.
Awesome.
Bravo.
So yeah, I mean, all the activities really count. So it's helped me put that focus. What other activities can I do? This is literally, I have to tell you, this challenge has been good for me because I've literally been putting this off for 3 years. I kept telling myself in my head, I'm like, yeah, activity, motion, that's the next thing I got to work on. I knew it, inside my body. So now there's that harmony between the physical and the mental, doing the right thing for me.
Yeah, these little things get us jump started, right? So they get us jump started. Invite friends that need jump starts. Invite them to our group, guys. Keep track if you're doing EAAs. Wendy, I am, and you are. I don't know, Sharon, are you? Have you gotten yours yet? Let's keep track of how that's working for us and how that's
Yeah,
going.
we want to know 2 weeks in, a month in. How do you feel? Do you notice anything?
And then I want to get my doctor friend Angela on to talk about her experience with it. She's 63 and her muscle mass, she's got all her numbers. Muscle mass is up, cholesterol, all the visceral fats all down. She's like smoking hot. I can't believe it, but she's been using the EAAs since middle of when they first came out. So
what's EA? What's EA?
The essential amino acids that are for muscle mass. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. But anyway, so I'm going to get her to come on and share her experience.
Yeah, and even if she can't do a Wednesday with us, which would be great, of course, just do a quick interview and post it for us on your
Yeah,
YouTube.
I'm going to do that because she's got spectacular numbers and things. I can't even believe it. It's blowing my mind. It's inspiring me to actually keep taking them every
Awesome.
day,
Yeah,
so.
Michelle, this team is just big and growing. You don't see everybody here, but there is so much going on.
Oh, it's 1:00. We got to go. But hey, everybody, thanks for being here. I love you. Appreciate you. I'm hoping to come up to Minnesota end of October or early November. So we'll get together. Okay, guys?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Love you.
Awesome. See you
Bye-bye.
next
Have a great
week.
day.
Bye.